Salutations everyone, this is Razor here bringing you guys another Overwatch 2 video where today we're going to be taking a look at Hanzo from the DPS position. A very fun character that I always liked in Overwatch 1, even when Hanzo main was the big insult of the time. You know, I never tried to use him too much, but always liked the character, and I feel like I do relatively well with him. And he fits really well in Overwatch 2. We've even seen him already in Overwatch League in both the first stage and already early on in the second stage. Sure, Double Sniper has always been a composition that has existed, not nearly as long as people might initially think. It really, in Overwatch 1, it really only existed truly for about 2 weeks. But, you know, teams have tried to do it on, like, certain defenses every now and again. But here in Overwatch 2, while Hanzo doesn't have any real changes to his kit, the way that he plays, it kind of fits really well here in Overwatch 2. Because he's got mobility, he's got the one-shot potential, he's got some burst damage here as well, as you'll see me here pick up like fucking play the game or some shit. He's actually pretty good against your Doomfist as far as the Tive tank goes. He's pretty good there, and obviously if, you know, Wrecking Ball is coming to slam down, Storm Arrows are going to do very quick, very decent damage against that. And, you know, Winston, not so good when he's got the shield up. And I did mention before my tier list video, which if you have not seen, you can go ahead and check that out in the playlist, or take a look at my channel. Is the most recent Overwatch 2 most recent Overwatch video that I put on the channel. He is not going to get nearly as much value out of Dragon Strike. Not that it was a great DPS ultimate beforehand. It truly wasn't. You really needed to get a combo out of it to get more than, you know, just like one lucky stray kill. But we can still use it in the ability it has to just completely split a team, or just to control space, get people off cart, or, you know, maybe just save a teammate that might be getting rushed in, or punish somebody going in really, really hard. So as you can see, we get to point 3 here pretty darn quickly, but things are going to start slowing down as they have moved to a Reaper, and wasn't able to get the one shot on the Junkrat, so we'll have to make it a 2 for. And now they're starting to build ults. We have 3 ourselves, and I have had the Dragon Strike for a while. It is going to be interesting to see how best to utilize Dragon Strike in this game, because you really only combine them with tank ultimates, and now we only have one tank, and that one tank's going to get less ults than they did before. So, and his best, you know, combo partner, the Graviton Surge, is not one we're going to be seeing nearly as much, because Zarya as a solo tank is going to be much more difficult to work around. And in stages where Zarya might be best as a solo tank, Hanzo might not be very good on that map. So we're not going to be seeing Grab Dragons, but, you know, Shadow Dragons, maybe some Gravitic Flux Dragons. I guess you can still call that a Grav Dragon, but more of like a Flux Dragon, I guess, if you don't want to confuse the two. But as you can see there, I tried to use it to pressure the Doomfist as well as isolate. And team didn't quite get the memo there. But Hanzo's abilities on any map he was decent on before, he's even better now in Overwatch 2, just because there's less shields. There's so many less shields that we have to worry about with there being one tank. And when there is one shield up, you know, say it's the best shield, Reinhardt's shield, the healthiest big honking chunker of a shield out there. And look, they have to nail and boost this Junkrat just so he doesn't get killed by me. How sad. And he barely survives. But even against the biggest shield, Hanzo is one of the best at taking care of that shield, and consistently, whereas Junkrat might, you know, output more damage per shot. He's only be able to get that tank busting, shield busting value at those close ranges where he can just really fly them in, whereas Hanzo doesn't have to really care about range. And so Hanzo gives you that long range threat, as well as that quick burst potential, where in Overwatch 2 we really have to capitalize on those small openings that we may get. Either a single pick, or someone gets naded, or someone gets slept, or someone gets pinned, right? Anybody getting CC'd in any way, Hanzo is going to be one of your best tools at taking advantage of that. Either, you know, hitting the headshot or the storm arrows, or getting some big body shot damage in there. As you can see, we combo up here with the Shatter Dragons, and we pick up 2 kills. And in Overwatch 2, where there's only 5, you get 2 kills. That's pretty darn good, even with even with investing 2 ultimates. That's going to be very, very good stuff for you, especially if one of those 2 is a tank, and even better if another is a healer. But unfortunately, they have the quick spawns, and our team isn't able to prop up our Reinhardt, I feel like, well enough. You know, this 3rd point, while we did get here quickly, it's going to take a while before we're going to be able to get a good crack at it, even though I still have free reign here since they are just running the Doomfist. I am able to kind of make his approach a lot more difficult as he tries to dive in, because unlike Winston, he doesn't have a bubble to drop down. And if it makes any sort of mistake, I can drop some big damage onto him. And while, you know, some characters might have a more difficult time not throwing the damage into a power blocking Doomfist, Hanzo is kind of one of the better at doing that. You know, all the shots are very meticulous, they're very purposeful, so it's kind of, you know, more easily done to not accidentally damage somebody that you're not trying to damage, right? And also, even if he is power blocking, usually if he's not at like full health, or like, you know, 75+% health, still going for free headshots on Doomfist with Hanzo or Widowmaker, obviously, I think that's going to be worth it the majority of the time. And like I mentioned, you know, against Zarya, now we want to pop those bubbles. We're not super worried about her getting high charge anymore. And so if you can get rid of 1 bubble quickly, or move on to the 2nd bubble, or hopefully they don't have a 2nd bubble, Hanzo's going to be good against that too, especially since he's going to have the mobility advantage against her in all situations, because he's always going to have the range. And oh, what a great lamp. McCree finishes it off after I get 1 shot into that tire. Hanzo obviously, you know, is going to be one of the characters that you're going to rely on to. That tire is going to be your responsibility. You and Widowmaker can 1-shot that thing. There are easy ways to deal with it, you know, like a dynamite with an Ash or something like that. But Hanzo can kind of be more aggressive. Obviously, you know, with point 3 here, it's not the best for like long sight lines and immobile characters, as they just keep throwing their ults directly on me time and time again. I've been Doom ulted 3 times, I've been blossomed twice, and that's kind of what's really been stopping us is that Reaper. And our healers and our other DPS aren't doing a great job at enabling our tank against their tank, because we have the advantage here. We're able to completely obliterate Doomfist, as you can see right there again, and get a nice little 3-piece here. This should be an easy push on forward, especially with Orisa being able to spin absorb those junk mines. So we're getting to the final portion here, and I just gotta say, playing Hanzo on a number of maps, he's a lot more useful in situations than he was before, and where he was already good. Like, I always loved playing Hanzo on this map, especially for cracking point A. He's still really good. See that power block? We gotta worry about it. Obviously, everything's easier when you got a uncontested high noon going on here. I'm just gonna throw the dragons right on the cart just to secure it. And even if they were able to continue overtime, that was just going to be a bad dragony time for them. So a quick little 25-6 on the attack here on King's Row. A great map for Hanzo before, and still a good one. So I would recommend in the 2nd beta, if you didn't give Hanzo a big try, or if you want a more long-range threat, maybe things aren't working out with Sojourn and you're not a crack shot at Widowmaker, and, you know, maybe Ash isn't your favorite pick, Go for Hanzo. Dragons might actually even be better ult than Bob with the big Bob nerfs. He's kind of useless, but you know the dragon is very easily avoided. Obviously, with some great timing, you get some good stuff going on. But Hanzo, from Bronze to Overwatch League, he's usable. He's fun, and he's pretty darn good.